Hello, and welcome back to the Life and Lessons of Me. I'm your host, Jordan. So, I kind of feel like the way one of my other episodes went recently, kind of, it was good. It was good. About like 630 people viewed it on YouTube. So I want to kind of focus on YouTube, and I haven't been posting on my podcast, but I did post the two recent episodes I just made, and dang, I wish those blinds were closed because the lighting in here just sucks. It's so bad. But anyway, I feel like what worked for me in that episode was my enthusiasm and kind of like me being funny. Like, I'm pretty funny and something I like to do. And if this is glitchy, it's because this stupid thing that I just closed popped back up. Like, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Hopefully, it's not going to make this laggy and stupid, but bear with me while my piece of crap computer thinks. Come on, show me the X, please. Get off. Yes, I would like to close. I don't have a virus. Thank you. Maybe the security scan thing is the virus. I don't know. Like, anyway, considering a MacBook, because I make videos and apparently they're way better for that. So there's a legitimate reason to get a MacBook, not just it's a MacBook. Like, right now I have a Windows Surface, which was great maybe 4 years ago, but now it's outdated. But anyway, back to the video. Sorry for that interruption, but what worked for me, I think, was my enthusiasm and just my overall energy in that episode was better. So again, if this lags, I'm sorry. My computer is slow and dumb. But now onto the major part of the video that I want to be talking about is making your own happiness. And the major part of that is not necessarily that other people won't add to your happiness, but in my opinion, they're just along for the ride. Like, if you want to be in my life, great, come be in my life. If you don't want to be in my life, get out. Like, it's that simple. And the main point of making your own happiness is if you have to rely on other people for your happiness, sometimes you're disappointed. And then guess what happens when, you can't rely on them for your happiness? You get all sad and depressed, and that's not good. We don't want that. We don't want to be sad and depressed. We don't. But so basically I was having this ridiculous argument and I probably should have just like ghosted this person. But I went the I'm letting you know that I'm done with your crap method, and yeah, that went well. So oops. I guess the more mature thing would be to ghost them, which seems backwards to me. So yeah. But anyway, I was told that, you know, relying on yourself for happiness and like, some people like myself have learned that, the age old phrase, if you want something done right, do it yourself. Like, kind of learned that. I mean, I obviously rely on a few good friends and my family and people like that, but overall, it's me. Like, I was in a hole for a couple years last year, kind of was the start of me getting out of the hole. And guess who did that? Me. Like, just me. And of course, I had a therapist, but like, that's besides the point. It's a choice. You have to do the work to get out of the hole. And you know who has to make that choice? You. So you're relying on yourself there. But, the main point was, how is making your own happiness lonely? Like, sure, yeah, it'd be great to have lots of people to share your happiness with. But at the end of the day, you're the only person that can make yourself truly happy. Like, you have to have your own self confidence. You have to build yourself up. You can't rely on people that are going to call you ugly and be like, like you can't rely on things like Instagram likes for confidence because at the end of the day, you're not going to be as confident. It's ridiculous. Like, just no. Make your own confidence, make your own happiness. It's that simple. I mean, okay, it's not simple, but as someone who's been alone recently, like for the last year ish, I've had friends. Like, I'm not saying I don't have friends, but overall, alone, kind of stuck in my house. Like, now I'm not stuck in the house because I got my car and I can go wherever I want, which is great. So it's great. But again, back to the main point, I've learned that even though I'm lonely, I can still be happy and live a good life. Like, I don't need people to be here for me to have an enjoyable life. Because at the end of the day, people leave, people move. You can't put all your eggs in one basket, as they say. So, I feel like with this example in a relationship, 50% of everything should come from you. Like, you should be having hobbies and going out and doing your own thing. Because if you're relying on one person all the time, other than yourself, sometimes they're busy, sometimes they're doing stuff. Like, you can't rely on people all the time. That's the other thing. Like, people aren't always going to be there for you. So you should pick up the slack where it's lacking, and it shows how young this person is that they don't really understand it. Like, I never really understood like the whole working on yourself thing until I was an adult, and it's kind of a lonely existence sometimes, and in order to be successful as an adult, you have to be able to, make your own happiness sometimes. And I was commenting that that's a skill that I have that people should work on, and I wholeheartedly believe that. And they said, that's not a skill, that's really sad, and that sounds lonely, and blah blah blah. Like, of course, somebody that is, not on my maturity level due to like age wise and like life experience wise, of course they're going to think that, because they've only been exposed to, you know, high school at this point. And yes, they're a little young for me to be talking to as a friend. So that's one of the reasons I was like kind of trying to move on from them. And also their overall attitude was just not great. So I would like to surround myself with people that share my attitude and my outlook on life and who aren't angry about literally everything for no reason. Like, you're not the Hulk. Like, knock it off. You're gonna turn green and start acting like the Hulk. Like, come on. Anyway, that's the thing. Like, maturity isn't always about age, it's about life experience. And they've experienced like nothing. So of course they're not gonna understand that some days you gotta make your own happiness. Um, there's my one for the episode. I can't use anymore. I'm really trying to, improve. Oh my gosh, improve my speaking ability. Which I almost did it again. You thought I almost said it. Not this time. I guess I say that as like a placeholder. I'm not sure. Anyway, you can't always rely on other people. Like, that's the thing. And of course, in high school, when you're surrounded by, how big was my high school? Like 1,000 kids. Of course, you're not gonna think that you need to make your own happiness and do things like that, because people are always around you all the time. And granted, I don't go to in-person school right now, but even in college, like, people are doing other things, sports, clubs, homework, going out. Oh my God, I did it again. One day I'll get it. One day I will get it. Part of the reason why I don't want to say, is because my brother told me not to. So, or do that, make that noise that I just did. Anyway, making your own happiness is not an easy thing to do. It's really not, especially if you're not doing that much throughout the day, which I really don't. I mean, I work, I got school, I play Xbox, I make these videos. But that's about it right now. I mean, I'm still building my life up. Having the car is the first step. Oh my gosh, I forget it. I'm just gonna not worry about it. But I look at it like I have a start. Like, I never had a start to life before, or independence or anything like that. So I need to figure out what I like to do with the car. I've already gone out to see some of my friends, which is great, because it's made it so much easier to like see them and do things other than come to my house, because it's hard for me to go anywhere. But now it's not, because I have the car, which is wonderful. It's getting my life on track. And I don't need people to tell me that that sounds lonely or sad. Like, I know who I am. I know what I've done with myself. I know what I'm capable of. I don't need you to try and bring me down just because I can do that and you cannot. I'm not saying everyone needs to do it, but I do think that putting all um your happiness into one person or multiple people is a mistake because like I said before, people leave, people move, stuff happens. You're not going to be friends with everyone forever. That's something that people don't realize all the time. So I feel like making your own happiness is super important, and a lot of people say this. So I'm not the only one that thinks this. But I haven't heard that making your own happiness makes you lonely and sad. I haven't heard that before. That's a new one. So that's a new one, yeah, for sure. Like once my friends left for college and things like that, I was pretty lonely. Like I got the dogs, I had my family. Now I really don't mind it. My sister went to school, so I don't have her around as much. So it's really just me. Like I really don't mind being on my own right now. I mean, what's to not like? Got new Star Wars content, new video games coming out, car, work, school. Like, what more could you ask for as a almost 21-year-old? I don't know. There's plenty, but I also know that in the past I put energy into things that I shouldn't have, or rather too much energy into people specifically. And I realized I wasn't really gaining anything from that. And that sounds like I need something out of it. But really, all I need is for you to treat me how I treat you. And I guess, you know, maybe this one person I didn't treat the best, my bad. Like, really, that's my fault. But even so, you should not use that as an excuse to be an ass. Um, you know, one when people make mistakes, sure, call them on it. But if they're like, yeah, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. That's it. That's the end of it. And if somebody does the same mistake multiple times, cut them off. Don't give them a second chance. As unfortunate as that sounds, I would have been cut off, but at the end of the day, that sometimes is the only way to move forward from people is to be cut off. If they don't like how you treat them, even if it's one person and the rest of the people that you are associated with, think you're great. So what? One person thinks you're an ass. It's not the end of the world. It's really not. Not everybody's going to like you. And that's another thing people need to realize. The only person that truly needs to like you is you. But if you're like, oh, I can't change anything, like even me, like I'm guilty of being like, no, it's not me. Nope. There are some things that yes, I can improve on, like taking everything personally. Like it's not a personal attack if my mom's like, hey, there's a car to your right. Watch it. Which happened to me recently. So again, sorry for that. That was on Monday. I guess it's like an insecurity that I have that people think I'm dumb if they're like, hey, look out. I was like, I saw it, blah, blah, blah. Like, so there are still things that I can improve upon and still mature through. So I'm not perfect, no. And if I gave that message to this person, like, I apologize, but there's a way to provide criticism to people, and it's not through being an ass. Like, it doesn't work because, of course, somebody's going to take that the wrong way. If you're like sarcastically being sassy or just a major butthead, like the way you're trying to help isn't really helpful. And they were like, oh, all my other friends were like this and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, that sucks for them because they got to deal with your crap. And yeah, I just overall, I think our life experiences are very different. So we probably weren't going to be friends for very much longer anyway. So yeah, but when I said I make my own happiness, they were like, that sounds sad and lonely. I'm like, well, instead of being sad and lonely, I'm happy and lonely. There's a difference. There's a major difference. Like, for example, I don't have to worry about BS. Like, if I have BS to deal with, it's usually because of me. And honestly, I'm the only person I have to blame for that. Like I was going back to PT this week because all my muscles are super tight because, sitting in a chair all day is really not great for you. Not great. So I was like, I can't complain. This is my fault. Got to go through the pain. Because if you haven't stretched for a while and then you get back into it, that stuff hurts. Like, it's not fun. My mom's like, it should feel great. Like, yeah, after like probably a month, but the first time back after a long time not going, ouch. I was like, it was pretty fun. I was like, ow, ow, ow. And then I was like, can't complain, not complaining, not complaining. And my arms are sore from that. Like, everything's sore. So, disabled things. So, yeah, I thought it was going to be more funny and entertaining in this video, but maybe not. I don't know. But, like, making your own happiness, it should be a goal because in adult life, it's pretty lonely. Like, people got work, people have, stuff to do, they move away. Like I keep reiterating in this episode over and over again, it's not okay to put all your eggs in one basket. I've seen way too many people that have put all of their happiness into, say, from a girl's perspective, they put all their happiness in a guy who doesn't let them have friends, who, isn't the best person, let's say. Like I'm not trying to like throw shade. I don't know people that girls have been involved with, so who am I to say? But I've seen way too many people, girls in particular, who get all lonely and sad, when their significant other dumps them or whatever, what have you. They break up with them, whatever, whoever's perspective it's from. Putting all of your happiness into somebody, and if it doesn't work out, you're all sad and depressy. Like, was it worth it to put all your happiness into other people? Was it worth it? That's my question. Like, if it's worth it, great. I feel like if two people make their own happiness and they can feed off each other's happiness, that's when a relationship works. But if one person is happy and the other person is just not happy at all, ever, no matter what, and they put all their happiness into people, it's not going to work out. So I feel like working on yourself, finding out what you love, finding out how to love yourself. That's the other major thing. It's not necessarily just happiness. It's self-love leads to happiness. That's literally the point of my video here. That is the case. And I know it's hard to love yourself sometimes, but guess who we have to blame? Social media and a little bit of like just society in general. Like, it's bad. It's hard to love yourself when, some people are like, yay, support. And other people are like, hey, I get no support from anybody. Like, one of the other things and reasons why I don't mind being lonely and I actually am pretty happy recently is crap. I lost my train of thought. Wait, is it gonna get back on the rails? Let's see. Let's see. It's something to do with self love and happiness, obviously. Ooh, that's annoying. I was so gonna have some great advice to spit at you guys. Like, ooh, wait, let me think of it. Damn it. That's embarrassing. I definitely knew where I was going with that. Then the train, like, just derailed. Man, damn. That's actually really annoying. Crap. I really can't think of what it was. Can't do it. Oh, there's my cat in the back. Say hi, Hank. It's my cat, Hank. Getting distracted here. That's bad. Ooh, what was I gonna say? Crap. Crap. Oh, society and social media. Bad. Um, yeah, people who have put way too much energy into likes. Like, if you don't get enough likes, you're all sad and annoyed and depressed. Like, stop. Stop it. Don't waste your energy. Put your energy into yourself. That's where I was going with that, I think. Put your energy into yourself because oh wait, no, I figured it out. I found out where I was going with that. Um, I feel like people only talk to me if they need me. That's another thing. Like, I know my worth. If you come to me for advice and a solution, I'm gonna expect that you listen to what I have to say if I'm venting or whatever. If I take time out of my day and put energy into your problems, I better be getting at least reciprocation of that. That's it. Like, I know my worth, okay? Self worth is very important, very lacking in society recently that I've noticed. You have to know your worth. People are talking to me because they know that I'm good at problem solving and that I give good advice. But at the same time, I would like some reciprocation. Like, I don't have everything figured out. Based on this stuff, I really don't. Like, there's some things I have figured out, yes. There are other things that I'm still working on. Like, but yeah, a big new one is you better treat me how I treat you, or you're not getting my problem solving ability anymore. Like, you talk to me just because you have a problem, and then if I have anything to talk about, you just blow over it or say something totally unrelated. Like, no, that's gonna get annoying fast. So I appreciate when people come to me because it makes me feel like I'm making an impact. I'm doing something that people notice, which for somebody who, has trouble feeling like they're noticed, makes me feel good. And I get to help people along the way. But if they're coming to me only when they need me, and if I go to them when I need them and they're not there, well, can you blame me? So that's a new thing for me too, is absolutely knowing my worth and knowing who I want around me. I don't want people that aren't like-minded around me. I really don't, because it's just a waste of time and energy. If you're always arguing about everything, what's the point? There's no point. Just get out. Get out now. Like, so yeah, maybe this video is entertaining for you. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. No skin off my back if it wasn't entertaining or helpful, but I hope it is. That's my goal with this show, is to help people and, give a little bit of my 2 cents on things. And I said, way too many times in this episode. And so I got to make a list of words that I don't want to use in the podcast and maybe write a script. But the problem is I just wing these. Like, something happens during the day, I make an episode about what I took away from it. That's usually how it goes. So I don't know. I don't even know what to call this. A podcast, a vlog. Like, I don't know what to call it anymore. So if you're watching this video and it happens to get a lot of views, comment on, what type of video you want to see, or what type of video this even is. I don't know. I feel like it's a vlog a little bit, just talking about stuff. That's what I should start doing. Stuff. The world, man. That hurricane, dude. Hurricane Ian. You gonna mess your day up. Unless you're from Florida and you're not scared of, category 5 hurricanes. But, nature doesn't care if we're here. It don't. That hurricane is going to wreck stuff. And it doesn't care if you're in the way. Really don't. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. And here's a new thing that I'm going to do. Like, subscribe, make it a YouTube video. And check out my other videos. I will link one that I made recently. So yeah, I appreciate you listening, and I hope to catch you on the next one.